Now, speaking of trade, delegates at the UN Conference on Trade and Development are in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. They have been here since Sunday. They're still debating the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, specifically where to find the money to implement them. UNCTAD believes this conference is a critical step in implementing the agreements made at the COP21 Climate Change Conference in Paris and the World Trade Organization's ministerial conference last year. Here's Uche Okoronkwo.
As UNCTAD 14 enters its third day, this week-long event seems to be achieving its goal to really charter the way for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, besides the ministerial roundtables going on right now, and of course the general debates and the World Investment Forum, we saw the launch of the largest database providing technical assistance on non-tariff buyers launched this morning. Now, I spoke to the special advisor to UNCTAD's Secretary General about some of the achievements they've seen over the last 3 days. Here's what he had to say.
The standards in Europe are very strict. The number of requirements that you have to meet, and if you don't meet these requirements for health reasons and other environmental, you can't export there. There are these type of measures that many developing countries are not aware, are finding difficult to navigate. So what UNCTAD is doing in collaboration actually with WTO and ITC is create this database that will help countries recognize what kind of these measures exist and how to cope with them.
Now, how does UNCTAD 14 plan to build on the success and certainly some of the failures of the World Trade Organization ministerial conference that took place here in Nairobi last December?
But this one is a bit different because ultimately the agreement on this document is about defining the work program for UNCTAD next 4 years. Now, it is to some extent related to the WTO ministerial meeting last December here, because that meeting was about advancing the Doha development agenda. Some progress were made, but some people think not much. But of course, WTO Director General was saying yesterday that there has been progress on agriculture subsidy, and some efforts were made to help least developed countries, for example, with market access and rules of origin. These are positive signs, but the Doha development agenda is not finished. So what UNCTAD does in this respect, UNCTAD is not like WTO rule-making organization. UNCTAD is sort of an organization that helps developing countries translate trade into development, poverty reduction in a concrete way.
Now, Kenya's Foreign Affairs Secretary talked about some political declarations that will take place at the end of this event. Can you give us some insight into what we can expect in the next few days?
This year is year one of implementation of the 2030 agenda. And as you know, this is the first actually ministerial meeting that focuses on trade and development. So in this respect, it's very important. Secondly, we are allowing this forum to enable developing countries to address this very important issue that we are highlighting, which is that increasingly we are witnessing now that the developed countries we call the North is sort of showing signs of retreat from globalization process. And a good example would be the Brexit phenomena, and plus also some signs of protectionism emerging in the North goes against the whole globalization